I got one tray of sides.
Here, try this.
Awesome. Oh my gosh.
I got the other tray of sides right here. I got some cornbread coming too, okay? That's where we want everyone to park, is either in this spot here or in the lot over there. Avoid parking behind the building over there. They get pissy about it. We're in talks with several places about some bigger locations within Montgomery. All of them are within a mile of where we currently are right now, so we're working through that problem. Here you go, pro tip for all you guys that own your own barbecue spot. Go hire a high school kid and pay him $100 a week to deep clean the pits. It is the cheapest fucking thing you can do labor-wise, and it makes such a big difference. Guy comes in every week, power washes, scrapes, does all the shit. My fat ass is not climbing in the rotisserie to scrape those walls, but that kid has no problem doing it for $100. Do it. That's free game for you guys. And then we do offer classes. We do classes every Thursday and Friday. They're one-on-one or one group and one. We offer a brisket trimming and seasoning class. We offer a sausage making class, which both those are about 3 to 4 hours. And then we also do an all-day class where you do everything we do from 3 a.m. till 7 o'clock at night. You make all the sides, all the proteins, you cook everything. We show you everything there is. You leave with the recipe book of everything we have and how we make it here. And a lot of our classes we teach on the Goldie's offset because a lot of guys don't have a 1,000-gallon smoker in their backyard. M&M was nice enough to send us one to teach on, so we use that thing quite a bit. What's up, guys? I'm Cooper Abercrombie. I'm the owner of Bar-A-BBQ here in Montgomery, Texas. I want to take you guys on a tour and show you what we're working with. All right, guys, so as the first thing you walk in, everyone always sees the mounts on the wall. Yes, we actually did shoot these animals here. We've got a lot more throughout the property. Some are so big we can't even hang them on the walls around here. But I've always had a love for the outdoors, for hunting, fishing, and all aspects of that. So having a space where we kind of showcase some of that love has been really special to me here at Bar-A. On top of that, we have tons of Texas-themed decor. You know, we have our Minister of Smoke photos. We love all of his content and everything that he does. We've got several of his photos around here. I get asked all the time, why this photo, why that photo? There's really no special reason. I just went to his website and I thought some of them looked really, really cool and would work really well for a barbecue restaurant. Now, I will show you some later that do have a little bit of special meaning to me, but most of them are just really, really cool, you know. When you walk in, guys, so the line, you're always going to start here with your cutter. You'll order most of your proteins and all of your sides with the cutter or with the sides person next to them. Tuesday through Friday, we generally have 3 people up front, 1 on sides, 1 on meat, 1 on register. Saturday, Sunday, we'll have 4 to 5 up front. Generally still just 1 cutter, but we might have 2 or 3 on sides or 2 on sides, 1 on garnish, 1 on register. The best days of the week, if you are not much of a wait in line kind of person, are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Your Saturday, Sunday can get really hectic, can be quite long lines lately, which we're super thankful for. And we do our best to try and limit that line time as much as we can. But if you're not a line person, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, that's your days to come out. Now, as far as the menu goes, being kind of just on the outskirts of Houston, almost, some would say the hill country. Being from Montgomery, I don't call it the start of the hill country, but I hear it quite often. We're a lot more plate focused. When we first opened up, we tried to be very hardcore, everything's quarter pound, half pound, pound, however you want to do it. All sides are, family style. And we just found a lot of people got confused by it around here. And Montgomery's not new to barbecue. We have a lot of spots that have been here for a long time that do a great job, and they're also very heavy plate focused. So we had to either make the decision of either fight this battle or just kind of give the people what they want. And the funny thing is, we laugh all the time, is if you came in and order a 1 meat, 2 sides or 2 meat, 2 sides, it's the same recommendation we had when we suggested people to order a half pound or a quarter pound of proteins and, you know, the 4 or 6 ounce of single sides. And but for whatever reason, if you just put it right there and you make it really simple, you cut out half the conversations of people who can't figure out how to order. Or the biggest issue we had was people would come in, look at a deli sheet of paper, which we have our meat by the pounds here posted, which this used to be up top. People would come in and just go, oh, let me get a pound of brisket, a pound of turkey, 2 pounds of sausage, and it's one person. And they didn't realize they just ordered 4.5 pounds of meat. They spent $150 and you get a review that's like, oh, this place is too expensive. Like, well, you just fed an army, you know? So that, again, another reason why we went towards the plates. And you know, also it lets us push more sides, the things that actually make us money. So we kind of like the plates around here. But you can see all the options we offer on our proteins. We do have a revolving special every day of the week. You know, being open 6 days a week, we kind of never stop. And we don't feel like we have the time to really expand the menu and do certain specials we want to do at times. So our kind of happy medium has been, well, let's just do one special every day. So every day is kind of has a special meaning to it for us. And being a Wednesday, it's our pork steak day, which is one of our favorite things we do. And we do them a little bit different, you know, where we're only cutting the steaks on that money muscle. So you just get the super, super rich portion of the pork butt the entire time. The downside of that is you have a bunch of little small pork butts that have bones in them that you have to cook all the time, but it is what it is. So that is the front. You can see our breakfast menu. We do offer breakfast on Saturdays. That is always from 8 a.m. till about 10, 10:30. It's honestly, it's 8 until everything on the menu is gone. Most Saturdays we have everything up until that 10:15 mark. I will say the last month or so though, it's been a little bit busier in the mornings, probably just because the weather's been a little bit nicer. But usually we come prepared for Saturdays for breakfast. You got to feature our John Bauman. John's our dude. We got super fortunate about 1.5 years ago to feed him when he came and played at the House of Blues there in Houston. And it turns out he's a bigger barbecue nut than probably we are. He's kind of the weird dude where he'll call me at 2 in the morning and be like, hey, I'm about to smoke a brisket. How do I do this? And he has no recollection of what time of day or night it is. But JB is my boy. We always have his music playing around here. This is my new favorite thing we just got. This actually came from the State Senate House. I went to a silent auction for the Montgomery Education Foundation, and one of the, and I'm going to sound like an idiot here, I don't know if he's a senator or what the hell he is, but he's in this house. Anyway, he donated one of his chairs from his office to be auctioned off, and I was not leaving that auction without that chair. So this is my important chair that hopefully I'll have an office one day I can set it in. Yeah, in here there's not really much, you know. I have the Goldie's photo. This is one of the earlier photos from their fridge there with all the briskets in that double door fridge. You know, Goldie's holds a really special place in my heart, that whole crew over there. You know, we wouldn't be here without those guys, is the honest truth. I mean, they were nice enough to let me come in and clean dishes and take out trash and just learn everything I could from them. And so they're just my boys. But I have a lot of great friends in this industry that have all helped me out. I couldn't list the amount of people that have helped me along this way. You know, Pat, Leo, that list is never ending. Yeah, it's a very tiny space. I think we have 20 seats inside, which is not much. But we make it work. This place actually used to be a vegan sandwich shop, believe it or not, which is crazy. We're kind of the polar opposite. And before that, it was a lot of restaurants, but at one point in time, this was a daycare. I used to crawl around this place, shitting my diaper in this building at one point in time. This building used to be just across the road, where it's now that grass lot you saw over there. Well, I guess we'll show that later, but that grass lot, and it's been moved back and forth like 10 times over the years. It's been here forever. You know, Montgomery used to be a super small town. I remember, you know, we have a Berkshire Brothers now down the road. I remember how excited we were when we got an actual grocery store in town. I didn't have to drive 30, 40 minutes to Conor to get there to get groceries. Go back here to the kitchen. Cut that water. Cut the water. So, being a Wednesday, we never stop working. So you're in the middle of us making sausage right now. We've got probably, I don't know, 150 pounds of sausage we got to shoot today. We make roughly about 250, 300 pounds a week of sausage here in house, all by hand, all on a 50-pound electric stuffer. So we're either making sausage or grinding fat to be made into tallow, which we use tallow in place of everything we can with butter around here. We have a super fancy commercial oven we just got installed. It's not commercial at all. It's a fucking $500 oven from Lowe's I just bought. But it's got 5 burners on it now, which for a year now we've had 2 burners that have been operational. So it's pretty cool to have more than 2 burners now.
It does have rapid boil.
It does have rapid boil technology, yes. We've got our walk-in. Not going to open that. It's probably a freaking disaster right now, the order that just came in. And the festival coming up. We have our dairy fridge, our brisket fridge, which is probably stuffed to the gills right now too. These will get us through 2 days this week. We'll have another 20 cases show up tomorrow for Thursday's delivery. And then the block. We have just enough space for about 3 fat guys to stand up here and cut and operate. We've got 2 warmers here. Usually we put all the briskets in this right warmer. We'll put briskets, sausage, turkeys in this warmer, chickens, pork butts. We'll go in the other warmer with backup sides. So the cutter is only pulling briskets and turkey and pork butt, and the sides person is pulling all the sausage, chicken, and any other protein that they don't have to. We really want them to focus on making sure we're cutting those expensive items as accurate as possible and not having to worry about trying to pull 15 different things at one time. Always have Martin's potato bread. Martin's for life. And then we have our burger shack, what we call it at least. We have our backup warmers, so we can only fit so much in the 2 up top. Excess will go into this warmer during service, and we'll pull from here to run up there throughout the day. And then we have our handy dandy Blackstone. We'll do about 125 to 150 doubles every Thursday on this. Thursday's become one of our really big ticket days, at least count-wise. The smash burgers have really taken off around here, which was kind of a surprise, but I'm all for it. And then we do offer classes. We do classes every Thursday and Friday. They're one-on-one or one group and one. We offer a brisket trimming and seasoning class. We offer a sausage making class, which both those are about 3 to 4 hours. And then we also do an all-day class where you do everything we do from 3 a.m. till 7 o'clock at night. You make all the sides, all the proteins, you cook everything. We show you everything there is. You leave with the recipe book of everything we have and how we make it here. And a lot of our classes we teach on the Goldie's offset because a lot of guys don't have a 1,000-gallon smoker in their backyard. Eminem was nice enough to send us one to teach on, so we use that thing quite a bit. And then you go from the outside to our outdoor seating area. I think we have 20 picnic tables. These are usually filled up on Saturday, Sunday, and often during the week I find most people sit outside versus inside no matter how hot it gets. We are fortunate with all the shade trees. People like to sit out here, which I don't blame them. I'd rather be out here than inside. All right, and then we'll go into our smokehouse. We've got a lot of pits here. This is the former Goldie's beef rib pit. It still has the plaque on it. It actually still has a little Kirby painted on the back side for Johnny, which is kind of funny. But this pit, essentially, it runs 6 days a week, just cold smoking sausage for us. So that's about a 4 to 5 hour process each batch. We can fit about a tray and a half on here at a time. So we're about to load this up here in a little bit and start cold smoking the next round of sausage for the day. But it's a great pit. It's just kind of the one that got ruled the sausage pit. And then when you walk in, you know, we have our direct heat, the Low Country from Syntex. This is probably my favorite toy that we have, just because you can do direct, indirect. We'll do mainly chickens on here, which is the predominant factor for this pit. But we will cold smoke sausage on here. We will do turkey breast on here. We've done ribs. I freaking love this thing. That's one of my favorite ones we got. And then we have our steak cooker, just as we call it. It's just, I had Backline Fabrication make this a couple years ago. And this is what we use for every Sunday for our smoked ribeyes. So we will cold smoke the ribeyes Saturday for 4 or 5 hours, and we will chill them overnight, pull them out Sunday, and they get a really, really hot sear on them, just in a big bath of tallow. They are fantastic. It's super fun to watch. There's just flames and shit going everywhere. It's a really cool time. And then we have our 1,000 offset against another Syntex product. I've got 24 briskets on here right now. We can open the doors up and kind of show some of that. But we put these on last night around 6:30. We do an overnight cold smoke. People always ask, like, oh, does it make a better product? No, it doesn't make a better product. What it does is we get to pull these things at like noon or 1, and we get to fucking go home and be with our family and friends instead of being up here 7 or 8 o'clock at night cooking briskets. So anyone that tells you it makes a better product, it doesn't. They're lying. They get to go home earlier. But yeah, we'll run 24 on here 4 days a week, and then another 20 on a 5th day. So this thing runs about 5 days of briskets. We have one day where we just come in. I've got some smartest, here you go, pro tip for all you guys that own your own barbecue spot. Go hire a high school kid and pay him $100 a week to deep clean the pits. It is the cheapest fucking thing you can do labor-wise, and it makes such a big difference. Guy comes in every week, power washes, scrapes, does all the shit. My fat ass is not climbing in the rotisserie to scrape those walls, but that kid has no problem doing it for $100. Do it. That's free game for you guys. Then we have our M&M rotisserie. I was so anti rotisseries forever, and when I finally got one, I was like, this thing is awesome. Like, it's super efficient. It's very hard to crisp up edges on anything because it's just a hot, humid environment, so you really never have any issue with anything crisping up. But B, it allows me the freedom to, if I have to go to the bank and go sign some papers for an hour or something or whatever, I can do that. I can walk away from this thing for an hour, hour and a half, no problems. An offset, it's much harder to do that. But wrapping up some turkeys here. We've got a couple wholesale accounts that buy deli sliced turkey from us, so we're kind of always cooking turkey. Wood, we use all post oak. It's all from Werner Firewood here out of Houston. They're super good dudes. They take really good care of us. They go the extra mile where they come in, they load, they stack everything, they fill our carts, they get a blower, they sweep and blow everything out, they clean up, then they all go in and they pay for lunch for themselves, you know. Super, super good people, run the right way. We've got our catering and off-site trailer. It does have like all the sinks and shit you need to actually sell food out of it. It's really just kind of turned into a kind of catering storage. Catering's grown quite a bit for us. It's become a big deal, and so we store a lot of our warmers and cambros and tables and just all the shit you need to go to an off-site event. It doesn't really sell food so much anymore for us. Then we go into our storage, our dry storage. So what's funny is this thing used to be just parking for the old business. Like this is where they would park their cars, is back here. And they just had this thing just filled to the brim with shit. There was no rhyme or reason of what was all in here. But we've got all of our spices, dry goods. We trim and season every brisket a day ahead, so it gets put into our brisket fridge here, is what we call it. So we'll trim season 24, 28 going on that night. They'll go in here for a couple hours so they get put on the pit. And then we've got merchandise, shirts, hats, extra catering equipment, our wood. We get about 3 cords every 3 weeks from Werner, roughly. Then we got our popsicle freezer. That's where we store all our popsicles. It gets hot as shit out here. I've clocked it down here like middle of August, in between the 2 pits, at like 130. It gets freaking hot down there. So if you ever go, again, you go into our walk-in, we've got like, I don't know, probably 60 or 70 Powerades and Topo Chicos just for everyone to like not pass out. We basically own stock in those like electrolyte packets that you put into waters and shit now, because we have so many of them. And then just outside the smokehouse, we've got our kind of little play area. We try and keep it stocked with toys and balls and shit for kids to play with. I've got 2 kids under 5. Alec has got 2 young kids as well. A lot of us have kids here that are pretty young, so as much as I want to say the toys are for the customers' kids, most times it's keeping our kids entertained for a little bit so we can get some work done. But you know, we've got rope and dummies, we've got Connect 4, we always keep soccer balls, footballs and stuff out here. But the rope and dummies are funny because half the time adults will get drunk and try and play rope and dummies out here. And then we come to the hot button topic of parking. I think legally we have like 8 parking spots, which is this space here. We're very blessed in that the guy that owns this property also owns the lot next door, and he lets us use it for overflow parking, which is super cool. I did just have to put some work into getting kind of the driveway to there kind of fixed, because it was like tearing up vehicles all day long trying to get out of that thing. But we'll have, I don't know, 100 vehicles in that lot on a Saturday at prime time. That lot gets pretty packed, but that's where we want everyone to park, is either in this spot here or in the lot over there. Avoid parking behind the building over there. They get pissy about it. So that building was there.
Okay.
We screened it in, and we put the little add-on to it, right. Kind of expanded a little bit. But yeah, the building was there. It's kind of funny. It lays out really well for a barbecue restaurant. You know, we were very fortunate with that. As much as we love this space, we need more space. We don't have enough space for all that we have going on right now, and we are looking to change that hopefully sooner than later. We're in talks with several places about some bigger locations within Montgomery. All of them are within a mile of where we currently are right now, so we're working through that problem. But yeah, it all came here. A lot of it's just trial and error of like let's try this and see how it works. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'll be honest, like, and you can put it on camera too. I've told Leo this before. I thought Leo was a fucking asshole before I actually talked to the guy.
Yeah.
And Leo, he has talked me off of more ledges and out of more dark places in this space than anybody ever has. He has become one of my best friends. I mean, just his ability to help me mentally has been better than anything I've ever gotten from anybody else.
That's insane. That's awesome.
And it just kind of opened my eyes, like, man, you really, and I came from sales, and all I did was talk to people and meet people and build relationships. You would think I wouldn't be, you know, so quick to judge someone, but, you know, he opened my eyes to, like, man, there's so many people I thought were going to be kind of uppity or stuck up,
Right.
you know, and they're not. Ernest,
Yep.
dude's one of the best chefs in the world. And dude, he'll sit here and talk fucking pinto beans to me for 2 hours about, you know, just the dumbest shit in the world that have to do with food, you know? Like, we get, you know, all these classes we do, and we, you know, our social media is fairly active, so we have a lot of comments and DMs all the time, and like, I get asked a lot, hey, I'm just starting popping up, what do you recommend? And I was telling them, like, hey man, find someone you really like respect in the game.
Right.
For whatever reason, and just ask if you can go hang out with them. I guarantee they'll let you do it.
Oh yeah.
Or if you can't, they'll answer your questions. Like everyone, most people will help you out, man, along the way.
Right.
You just gotta ask. I think people get so caught up that they think the piece of pie is this big.
Right.
And in reality, it's fucking this big. There's enough money and for everyone to be successful and do what they want to do.